Recently, Y2K has come into my life again. With the 1.5 trailer dropping and supposedly fixing the game, I've remembered why it fascinated me. And that reason is because it's awful, like hilariously awful. But I'm still drawn to it, like watching a train accident. But I need to do what I do best, so here's a weird new series thing I'm debating on. So, YIIK, a postmodern TTRPG. Generally speaking, we're going to need to adapt the game, which luckily is pretty simple as it's a game is a traditional RPG. The issues come with everything else. At its core, the concept of YIIK is a character study of the main character, Alex. But the issue is Alex is a scumbag loser and no one wants to be Alex. So what we'll do is simply take the broader concepts and run with it. We're working with effectively a investigation combat persona RPG thing where the relationships are just as important as uncovering the grand mystery in the bizarre 90s town you're all going to be a part of. As an investigation game, I'd probably follow my basic mantra of give the players what's necessary but never what's needed, with the players forced to actually invest in various skills and abilities to get what they need to find. The core idea is that those mysteries are going to involve going into soul space, places between realities where weird creatures reside. The persona part comes in two parts. On one hand, where the investigations will normally take place is going to be an other world, which is odd and weird, and as well as being more of the big think than anything. None of the protagonists of YIIK actually use weapons, instead using things that are important to them. Michael isn't actually beating someone to death with his camera. He's using his camera to deal damage to others because that camera is an important part of him. Thus, we can gracefully steal some more dedicated systems of damage from a different source. Damage should feel relatively consistent based on a quote level end quote, but since we want to keep the basic ideas, we're keeping damage low most of the time. Now here comes a big thunk. What mechanics do we use? We know this is going to be a relatively investigation combat focused game with social aspects being regulated to the GM and players to debate among each other. The issue we need to do is now determine how are we going to do things. Luckily, since this is a postmodern RPG, we can get weird with things. And no, we're not going to play fucking mini games for each attack. This thing still needs to be fun to play. I mused on this for a while, but keeping it simple, I'd say a dice pool, but being simple is far from YIIK's intended purpose, so we need to make things a bit strange. If I was far more drunk, I'd say something akin to a diceless system, but that's also not quite right, so I had to consult the best and the brightest, my Discord. This quickly recommended me Morbius and that game, so it dawned on me, if we're going to go postmodern, it has to be postmodern, and a rejection of societal and artistic norms. For me, God help me some way. What I'm saying is that we're going to need to be making a powered by Lumen RPG, and it'll be an abomination of God, but strangely appropriate. We need to complicate the characters' lives, make sure that no character is actually a decent person, with most of them being some variation of weird, broken, or just an asshole. The ones that aren't weird, broken, or an asshole are probably not important or themselves soul survivors, which gets into the really bizarre aspect of things, which is the other half of YIIK. Making the concept of soul space, soul survivors, and the meta commentary of YIIK work, we would need to be an entirely selfish yet a very simple concept. You are playing your characters. They are just as much as you are you. Alternate dimensions and such are not only canon that you are playing them is correct, it's also completely simple that you added in some bizarre aspect as well, allowing the GM to really tailor the experience to the players as they delve into a character that is, in some way, them. Soul space itself is just various dungeons the characters will enter, a place between dimensions and filled with strangers, while the soul survivors are just beings that reside in soul space and are part of a traveling soul of some kind. This would be heavy lifting on the GM's part, but if you really want to get real meta with it, you could just say the GM is literally Alex, which is the entire center of the universe, which inevitably destroys all other realities at once. YIIK is stupid. Running a game of YIIK, the postmodern TTRPG, would have you, the GM, having a goddamn stroke and interpreting the brain patterns you managed to piece together. A character leveling up is a mixture of uncovering more about their issues, dealing with their relationships, and actually learning more about themselves just as much as a player pieces together a character through multiple sessions of play. It's postmodern, and the idea is that you're playing yourself, but not, using the common factors of TTRPGs to tell a compelling narrative of a weird mystery across dimensions. Or you just tell someone that no one cares about their dead sister and just go full The Room levels of camp and bizarre natures to it, which would almost be mandatory to make a game like this work. My name is Notepad, and this was a bit of rambling and musing. This may turn into something, it may not. Like, comment, subscribe to work. This isn't going to be a common new thing, simply something to muse about on the weekends.